kickoff at Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City. An emotional senior day. Final home game for Drew Tate and 17 other Hawkeye seniors. They're trying to go out with a bang during an otherwise disappointing year for the Hawkeyes. They play host to 16th ranked Wisconsin today. Our coverage presented by Cars.com. Sean McDonough with Chris Spielman and Rob Stone. Delighted to have you with us. 34 degrees and overcast as we approach kickoff. The Badgers 9-1. They can finish no worse than third in the Big Ten this year, but today, for the first time in 35 games, they'll play without starting quarterback John Stocco, out with a shoulder injury suffered last week against Penn State. The junior, Tyler Donovan, will make his first career start.
Yeah, Tyler Donovan can do some damage with his legs, and I was watching him in pregame, Sean. He throws a nice ball. You'll see a lot of downhill, P.J. Hill with a little bit of Lance Smith sprinkled in there.
Iowa won the toss and will receive. When they win the toss, they almost always receive. Anthony Bowman had trouble for a moment with Taylor Melhoff's kickoff. Now he runs up the sideline. There's a flag now. Good run back to the 40-yard line. The referee is Bill Lamagnier. 37-yard return. But there was a flag thrown along the near sideline.
I got a holding. We'll bring it back.
And that's the way it's gone all year for Kirk Ferentz and the Hawkeyes. 6-4 overall, just 2-4 in Big Ten play. You mentioned they like to get the ball first and go. Tyler Bloom called for the illegal block. Just when something good happens, so often this year the Hawkeyes have hurt themselves with penalties and turnovers, in the words of Coach Ferentz. It's been a tough year. It's also been a tough year for Drew Tate. The 3-year starter at quarterback has battled injuries and an inexperienced wide receiver core that hasn't helped him much. His throw is low, looking for the true freshman Dominique Douglas. It's incomplete. The starting offense for Iowa, presented by Nivea for men. They've been sporadic at best as a bunch, and a big reason why has been the offensive line. All sorts of moving parts. Today it's Yanda and Olsen at the tackles, Jones and Elgin the guards, and Eubank starts in at center. That's a combination that has been in flux all season long. Albert Young cuts back and gets across the 10 to the 11. A yard and a half, and that's it. Jonathan Casillas with the stop for the Wisconsin defense. One of the best in the country, allowing only 12 points per game. That's 6th in the nation. They're even better than that in pass defense, led by the outstanding secondary of Langford, Rogers, Stellmacher, and Ike Iguanu. Wisconsin is 3rd in the country in pass defense, giving up only 138.5 yards per game through the air. Well, this Wisconsin defense has had the same 11 starters in each of the last 10 games. And as you say, Chris, Iowa's had only 2 players on offense who have started every game at the same position all year. Long throw intended for Dominique Douglas. He got tangled up with Jack Ike Iguanu. The crowd wanted a flag, as did Kirk Ferentz. Well, there is no flag against Ike Iguanu, who is certainly an all Big Ten candidate at cornerback this year.
Yeah, he's been playing outstanding, and the other side, Alan Langford has. But you see Ike Iguanu right there doing a good job of looking and leaning. See how his head went back for that football? Outstanding. You're allowed contact if you're going up for the football or you're looking for the football. It's a good job of using his body and his position to disrupt Douglas.
Andy Fenstermaker, another senior in his last home game, will punt. He's from Mount Pleasant, Iowa. 44 players on this team are from their home state of Iowa, out of the 109 on the roster. This punt goes out of bounds at the 36-yard line, a 35-yard punt. And the focus will be on Tyler Donovan, the junior from Heartland, Wisconsin, who's appeared briefly this season. 8 pass attempts this year, 17 attempts for his career. Was recruited by Iowa. They know a little bit about him, but as their coaches said, there's not a lot of Tyler Donovan on tape. He does have a strong arm and he runs well.
Brett Bielema has extreme confidence in Tyler Donovan that he can run the show.
Yes, P.J. Hill, the tailback in the eye behind him, the leading rusher in the Big Ten. And they pound it straight ahead behind that mammoth offensive line that averages nearly 6'7" and 319 pounds. Nivea for men brings you the Wisconsin starters on offense. The line and Hill, they've been stalwarts all year long. In recent weeks, the notable improvement has come from the receiver core. At the beginning, that was a weak spot. Paul Hubbard and Luke Swan have emerged largely because of the play of Travis Beckham. As he became a threat, it opened up the game on the perimeter for the wide receivers. Hill got 4 on his first carry. And then he gets a hard-earned couple there. Broke a tackle behind the line of scrimmage. And then Mitch King got him down with help from Alex Canellis. Iowa has struggled against the run. That'll be their main challenge today. They gave up 225 yards on the ground last week to Northwestern in a home loss to the Wildcats. So the onus is on the front four of Bain, Kroll, King, and Madison. Madison has had a particularly good year for the defense, coordinated by Norm Parker, looking for a stop on 3rd down and 5. 3 wide receivers for Tyler Donovan. A lot of time to throw. Dumps it off of the tight end Beckham. First down across the 50 to the Iowa 47-yard line. Edmund Miles, the linebacker, made the stop after a pickup of 12 on the pass to Beckham, a tight end who averages over 14 yards per catch.
Yeah, they're playing zone. You see Miles trying to run with Beckham, and Beckham has too much speed for any linebacker to match up with him one-on-one. And give credit to Tyler Donovan for finding that weakness, Sean, and exploiting that weakness.
Beckham, converted to tight end this year, was a defensive player, just 220 pounds. P.J. Hill, the ball carrier. He'll rattle your teeth when you try to tackle him. It's a 4-yard gain. So what does that mean? They do teeth cleaning, teeth pulling,
I don't like that.
Orthodonture, that sort of thing. Oral surgery. Anything you want to study in dentistry, you can do right here in Iowa.
And they all stay home, too. 80% of them. P.J. Hill, the thing he does is I just love the way he runs and gets the extra yard, the yards after contact.
2nd and 6. Tyler Donovan looked poised and comfortable in his first series of quarterback as a starter. P.J. Hill runs for a first down to the 34 of the Hawkeyes. Here's Rob.
Well, Sean, I spoke with the Wisconsin medical staff just before kickoff about an update on John Stocco, and they said it's an AC joint sprain. Essentially, it's a separated shoulder. The motion is getting better. The strength is getting better. Essentially, though, it's really a pain management issue for him. I talked to John just before kickoff. He said the last couple of days it has been feeling better. He hopes to be back next week. They hope to be back next week. Offensive coordinator Paul Chryst hopes he'll be back next week. But he knew last weekend that Stocco would not be available today.
They were less than forthcoming with that information during the week, which certainly does not make them unique among coaching staffs in football when it comes to discussing injuries. P.J. Hill, the ball carrier. Brian Madison took him down. When we spoke with Brett Bielema on Wednesday, he said he felt fairly good, to use his phrase, about the chances of Stocco playing today, when apparently there wasn't any chance he was going to play today. This is their last league game. They finish out of the conference against the University of Buffalo. That'll be senior day. You know Stocco, a 5th-year senior, would like to be back for that. Then again, the school thought might be why play him when you could have him healthier for the bowl game. Donovan, he can run. He had a big 20-yard run at the end of the game last week against Penn State to help seal the win after he replaced Stocco, who went out with the shoulder injury. The safety, Miguel Merrick, made the tackle. It's a gain of 18 for Donovan.
It's a super call by offensive coordinator Paul Chryst. A called quarterback draw. You see the lineman down there getting in, harassing the face of the Hawkeyes, and that's what Tyler Donovan can bring to the table. He's thrown the ball well today, put his strength right there, and where his comfort level is and where it is with Paul Chryst is in his legs. There's Paul Chryst.
On the right side of that picture. 2nd year as the offensive coordinator. They set the school record for points last year. They're averaging 30.5 per game this year. Donovan run down this time by Edmund Miles. Good help from the safety Marcus Paschal. Stocco relaying the play from Paul Chryst. Stocco was injured in the preseason. He had to have arthroscopic knee surgery, missed a couple of weeks of practice, so Tyler took the reps with the first-string offense much of the preseason, and Paul Chryst says that has really helped in this situation. The offense knows what Donovan can do. They have a lot of confidence in his ability to lead them here today. 2nd and 10. A screen set up for the tight end, Andy Crooks. And he's down the 11-yard line. Matt Kroll made the tackle, the sophomore defensive tackle from Mount Vernon, Iowa.
You can see the philosophy that Coach Chryst has right now is that he's not having Tyler make a lot of decisions. So a lot of the passes, the 2 completions he's had have been short balls to Beckham. They run the quarterback draw on a nice little screen right there. They're not really testing him to see if he can throw the ball down the field. If I'm Iowa, I'll start playing the short routes. Make him throw it downfield. Challenge him.
Crowd making noise. Our play clock on the screen obviously malfunctioning. 4 seconds to snap it now. Donovan with all day to throw. Runs out of time and gets sacked back at the 14-yard line by Brian Madison. 6.5 sacks this year now for Madison. Had an outstanding year at defensive end, the junior from Mishawaka, Indiana. That's near Notre Dame. He went to high school there when his dad, Greg, was on Bob Davies' coaching staff at Notre Dame. Greg now coaching at the University of Florida.
It's a good job of pass coverage and protection by the Wisconsin offensive line. You see Klingenberg come in there, Madison to clean up, but that is what they call the coverage sack.
Taylor Melhoff having an excellent year, trying a 31-yard field goal, and it is good. He's made 10 of his last 11 field goals. Wisconsin first on the board. 3-0 Badgers. 2:47 to go in the first quarter. Damian Sims will not run back Taylor Melhoff's kick. During the week, apparently Steve Mariucci, much mentioned, is no longer a candidate to replace John L. Smith. Tate under duress just throws it up for grabs, and it is intercepted. Roderick Rogers running it back inside the 30. It was intended for Scott Chandler. Tate was pressured by Jamal Cooper and just threw it up for grabs. And the turnover problems continue for Iowa. They began the day -7 in turnover margin, 101st in the nation.
It's a good job of Drew Tate keeping his eyes downfield, and he did have Scott Chandler behind Roderick Rogers. The problem is he can't get enough juice on it, throwing across his body, rolling to his left. Now Chandler's got to turn it into a DB right there. Didn't do a good job where Roderick Rogers adjusted on the ball. He made a good play, a great play for his Wisconsin Badger defense.
The numbers tell the story for Iowa. The interception for Rogers, his 2nd of the season. He had one last week against Penn State. That's 6 straight games with an interception for Wisconsin, and Beckham nearly had the touchdown. Miguel Merritt tackled him from behind around the legs at the 3. After a 28-yard interception return, Tyler Donovan hits Beckham for 22, and it'll be 1st and goal for the Badgers.
That's the matchup problem that Beckham puts on defenses. One, he ran away from Edmund Miles. Right here, he's running away from Merrick, a safety. Now, if you can't cover him with a safety and he's playing the tight end, it's tough. And a good job by Donovan hanging in there, taking a shot from Kroll.
So you want to be the starter. You want to play? You're going to take those kinds of hits. Donovan's been impressive. 4 for 4. All 4 to tight ends. Make it 5 for 5. All 5 to the tight ends, and a touchdown to Travis Beckham.
It's too easy. Again, he's just you try to cover him with the linebacker, he runs away from Edmund Miles because Miles is turning back and looking at the quarterback as opposed to playing the man. So Tyler says, well, if you're not going to cover him, he's our #1 receiver, then I'm going to exploit you. And he's doing it, and doing it in fine fashion.
Beckham, the touchdown, is 4th of the year. And Melhoff will attempt the extra point. He's perfect 37 for 37 this year in PATs. And he remains perfect. Travis Beckham has been averaging 5.5 catches per game over the last 5, has 4 already. Nothing fancy in the throws from Donovan, but he's perfect. 5 for 5. They lead 10-0. It's been a very impressive season for Wisconsin, Chris. When the year began, most prognosticators had them somewhere in the middle of the pack. They've been better than that. They will finish no worse than 3rd in the Big Ten. Perhaps better if something unforeseen happens ahead of them with Ohio State and Michigan.
Nope.
But Iowa, they were picked to finish 3rd. 6-4. They've lost 3 Big Ten games in a row. And when you hear lack of effort, and again, kind of flat looking again today.
Lack of effort can be confused with lack of energy, and they're not playing with any confidence. You see Miles try to guard Beckham. He can't handle him because he's looking back at the quarterback. The other thing about this Wisconsin team, Sean, I keep hearing how all these one-loss team in the country and how good they are. I have yet to hear Wisconsin mentioned on how good they are. They're as well balanced as any of the other one-loss teams that are getting all the attention.
Well, I think the thing that works against them, it is not an impressive list of victories. Their one loss was at Michigan on September 23rd. They've won 6 in a row since. Damian Sims will not run the kickoff out of the end zone. But their wins are against Bowling Green, Western Illinois, San Diego State, Indiana, Northwestern, Minnesota, Purdue, Illinois, and Penn State. You'd have to say that Penn State win last week might be the most impressive. They don't play Ohio State, but here's a chance to make a statement on the road against an Iowa team that's having a disappointing year, but is still 6-4.
And I understand that, and I certainly, it does have credence, but I make the statement that I see a lot of college football and watch a lot of teams play. And as far as offensive and defensively, there's not too many teams that are as balanced and as good as they are.
No question about it. Swing pass out to Albert Young from Drew Tate. And a 4-yard gain. Well, last year in the meeting between these two in Madison, Wisconsin raced to a 10-0 lead, and then Tate and the Hawkeyes came back, scored 20 unanswered points, spoiled senior day for the Badgers, and ruined Barry Alvarez's final home game as head coach.
Guy right there, Drew Tate. It's his last game at Kinnick Stadium, and not starting the way he wants, but I'll tell you what, he's a competitor, and he'll come back and make some plays before it's all said and done.
Second all-time in most of the major passing categories here at Iowa, behind Chuck Long. Young dances ahead to the 27 on what might be the final play of the quarter. Nick Hayden made the tackle. Saw the emotion on Drew Tate as he ran out and hugged his family. His stepdad, Dick Olin, was his high school coach at Lee High School in Texas, where Tate threw for more than 12,000 yards to set the state record. They play for the Heartland Trophy. Wisconsin and Iowa, and it's the Badgers 10-0 at the end of 1. Back in Iowa City, 10-0 for the 16th ranked Badgers at the end of 1 quarter. Tyler Donovan in his first career start, perfect so far, while the 3-year Iowa starter Drew Tate has struggled. Wisconsin doesn't blitz much, but they do blitz a lot on 3rd down and long. So let's see if they'll blitz on 3rd and 8. Nope, they rush 4. Tate throws, has a man open. It's the tight end, Scott Chandler. Look at him fight all the way down to the 10-yard line.
When we talk about when you play man-to-man coverage, Sean, the one rule, do not look back at the quarterback. You're going to see Zach Hampton. Drew Tate's looking for his comfort level. His comfort level is Chandler. Zach Hampton looked back at the quarterback. Chandler pulled away, and the big fella is not going to be denied the extra yards because he knows it's his last hurrah here in Kinnick Stadium.
Longest reception of his career, 64 yards. He was one of those players we spoke with yesterday who was embarrassed by the lack of effort. Last week, Damian Sims fired up. He's down inside the 4. Ben Strickland made the tackle. It'll be 2nd and goal for the Hawkeyes, down 10-0 with 9 minutes to go till halftime.
We were talking yesterday about lack of effort. Sometimes the lack of effort is disguised as lack of energy. Well, that's what Iowa needed right there, a big play from one of their seniors, delivered to by Drew Tate, to get some energy and enthusiasm and emotion back in the game.
Tate might be changing the play as Damian Sims, the tailback, throws to the end zone. A man wide open. Touchdown. Tony Moeaki, the backup tight end, was wide open.
Yeah, looked to me there were only 10 players out on the field for Wisconsin. They didn't have a corner out there. You had Stellmacher out there. Here's Stellmacher. He doesn't know who to cover. He goes and jumps Majerus, and Moeaki's out there. Langford or Strickland was not out there at the corner position.
This is a game dominated by tight ends right now. All 6 catches for Wisconsin have been from their tight ends. Chandler, the long ball from Tate to set up Moeaki. Moeaki with the 3rd score of his sophomore season. 10-7, Badgers. They do blitz a lot on 3rd down and long. So let's see if they'll blitz on 3rd and 8. Nope, they rush 4. Tate throws, has a man open. It's the tight end, Scott Chandler. Look at him fight all the way down to the 10-yard line.
When we talk about when you play man-to-man coverage, Sean, the one rule, do not look back at the quarterback. You're going to see Zach Hampton. Drew Tate's looking for his comfort level. His comfort level is Chandler. Zach Hampton looked back at the quarterback. Chandler pulled away, and the big fella is not going to be denied the extra yards because he knows it's his last hurrah here in Kinnick Stadium.
Longest reception of his career, 64 yards. He was one of those players we spoke with yesterday who was embarrassed by the lack of effort. Last week, Damian Sims fired up. He's down inside the 4. Ben Strickland made the tackle. It'll be 2nd and goal for the Hawkeyes, down 10-0 with 9 minutes to go till halftime.
We were talking yesterday about lack of effort. Sometimes the lack of effort is disguised as lack of energy. Well, that's what Iowa needed right there. A big play from one of their seniors, delivered to by Drew Tate, to get some energy and enthusiasm and emotion back in the game.
Tate might be changing the play as Damian Sims, the tailback, throws to the end zone. A man wide open. Touchdown. Tony Moeaki, the backup tight end, was wide open.
Yeah, look to me there were only 10 players out on the field for Wisconsin. They didn't have a corner out there. You had Stellmacher out there. Here's Stellmacher. He doesn't know who to cover. He goes and jumps Majerus, and Moeaki's out there. Langford or Strickland was not out there at the corner position.
This is a game dominated by tight ends right now. All 6 catches for Wisconsin have been from their tight ends. Chandler, the long ball from Tate to set up Moeaki. Moeaki with the 3rd score of his sophomore season. 10-7, Badgers. Back in Iowa City, the Hawkeyes on the board. Their longest play of the season, a 64-yard pass. Drew Tate to Scott Chandler set up the score, capping an 88-yard drive. Moeaki, the touchdown. They'll run down and cover the kickoff. Austin Signor, freshman walk-on from Urbandale, Iowa, into the end zone, and Jarvis Minton takes a knee. Well, some confusion, uncharacteristically so, on the Wisconsin defense on the touchdown play.
Yeah, let's take a look. There's Stellmacher pointing out somebody's got to take him if I'm taking him. And that guy has to be either this guy or this guy. Watch what happens. Stellmacher now is forced to try to cover 2 because there's confusion between the inside linebacker and the outside linebacker. Drew Tate, great recognition. Saw Stellmacher jump the inside guy, Majerus, throws it out to Moeaki for 6.
The defense conferring. It's just the 4th touchdown pass they've given up all year. Wisconsin has given up the fewest touchdown passes against them all season long of any team in the country. Movement by the wide receiver, Xavier Harris, the true freshman, flinched before the snap.
Again, these are the little things that
Ball start, number 2 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
that Iowa needs, to get their energy back. Effort and energy go together.
So it'll be first down and 15. And the crowd involved in it now. P.J. Hill, the lone back. Tyler Donovan started for the injured John Stocco. Hill is down. Mitch King, the primary hit. 2nd and 16. Donovan, design quarterback draw. Nicely played by Edmund Miles, the outside linebacker, senior in his last home game out of Tallahassee, Florida.
Again, until Wisconsin proves to me that they're going to throw the ball down the field, and you can play a zone where you have your corners and safeties up until you're threatened. They have yet to threaten the ball down the field to either Hubbard or Swan, their wide receivers. Anytime they've gone down the field whatsoever, it's all been to Beckham.
Third down and 12. Donovan was looking down the field that time, now runs. And he's down short of the first down. Across the 25. Matt Kroll made the stop. 8 yards on the run. And DeBush will punt. They've done a nice job so far getting down to cover his punts. Hampton in particular excels in that area. They would have had a chance to have it down near the one again on this punt in this quarter had it not struck Hampton near the 10-yard line.
The ball's cold outside. The ball's like a rock. It's not traveling very far. A chance for Iowa to get some type of field position out of this.
Came after DeBush. He got off on a nice punt. Fair catch made by Dominique Douglas. 43-yard kick and no return. Iowa with momentum and a chance to perhaps take the lead when we come back. Our presentation of college football on ESPN brought to you by Cars.com. We're at Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City. Drew Tate and the Hawkeyes took virtually nothing in their first 4 offensive possessions. Last drive, big third down play. Helped them go 88 for a score. Here's Damian Sims busting free into Wisconsin territory and down at the 40-yard line. Jack Ikeguano able to pull him down to the ground. It's a pickup of 30.
Yeah, he gets a great lead block by Bush, his fullback. Take a look at Bush coming in, adjusting, knocking Zalewski out of there, and Damian Sims patient and speed. Big yard, almost broke out of there from Ikeguano. He's got a little more burst and giddy up than Albert Young. Albert Young's more the power guy. Good block by Bush, clearing away.
O'Keefe, the offensive coordinator, said we can be explosive at times, but it's been sporadic. They've had a couple of explosive plays here in the first half. Andy Brodell, the catch at the 28, good for 11 and another first down. Drew Tate made a big mistake early in the game, just lofted one up for grabs like a punt. Roderick Rogers picked it off, ran it back 28. 2 plays later, a touchdown. Tyler Donovan to Travis Beckham. It was 10-0 Wisconsin, but then some confusion. The Badger defense, Tony Moraki left all alone. Touchdown Iowa after a 64-yard completion to Scott Chandler got them in scoring range. Iowa with the edge in offense so far. Sims 2 to the 26, taken down there by Jamal Cooper. We should point out that the Wisconsin defense playing today without Alan Langford, their sophomore cornerback who's had an excellent year, apparently suffered an ankle injury during the week in practice, is not dressed. Again, Wisconsin chose not to share that injury information as well. There's Langford.
He's had an outstanding year along with his running mate, Michael Guanu. Big part of the defensive success of Wisconsin has been their secondary.
And Strickland has been playing corner in the absence of Langford. Albert Young back in there. First down inside the 15 and shoved out at the 11 by Roderick Rogers. 15 yards for Young, and this Hawkeye offense getting it in big chunks. Here's Rob Stone.
Well, Sean, that injury to Langford happened at Tuesday's practice. They thought he was going to be able to go today. They called it a game-time decision. They had him running around working it out. Obviously, no dice. He's not even dressed up. Brett Bielema addressing his defense after that last Iowa touchdown, came over barking at him, saying, one play is going to decide this game, guys, and you guys took a nap on that play.
Bielema, the defensive coordinator for the last 2 years of Wisconsin under Barry Alvarez before becoming the head coach. Albert Young again down to the 8.
Second and 7 at the 8.
Pat White continues to impress, Sean. He's moved up on my Heisman list. Dual threat.
Second and 7 from the 8. They could get a first down near the 1. Albert Young out of the backfield, lunges inside the 3. Joe Stelmacher saved the touchdown. Young's rushing numbers are down this year, in part due to injury, in part because it's a lot harder for them to run the ball this year with the difficulties they've had in the pass game, teams loading up against the run, but it is a career high in receptions this year for Albert Young.
Right, you see, they tried that play earlier on a 3rd down where Stelmacher was all over it. That time, the timing was a little bit better, and plus Drew Tate was rolling to his right. He's able to deliver a catchable, runnable ball to Albert Young.
3rd and 2 for the first down, 3 for the go-ahead touchdown. Tate trying to throw for the touchdown, has it. Tom Bush, the fullback.
Again, it's a blown coverage. Stelmacher's looking at his linebacker, and it's supposed to be a me-you coverage, meaning you take one and I'll take one. Stelmacher's on Chandler, but nobody's on Bush. You see right there, and it's just pitch and catch right there. Chandler is kind of blocking or picking out Stelmacher. Stelmacher was looking for Casillas and saying, where you at, buddy? I need you.
First touchdown of the season for the fullback Bush, his 6th catch of the year. And Iowa has the lead. The extra point good by Kyle Schlicker. It's 14-10 Hawkeyes. Tom Bush with the touchdown. Just his 3rd receiving touchdown of his career. Senior from Cottage Grove, Minnesota. Austin Signer's kickoff returned across the field by Jarvis Minton out to the 27. All right, Reese will look forward to it. 1st and 10 Wisconsin. Well, perhaps a little more pressure on the first-time starter Tyler Donovan. His team now behind, and he zips a nice ball to Paul Hubbard out at the 35-yard line. Donovan still perfect, now 7 for 7, but that's his first completion to a wide receiver. Charles Godfrey the stop, and a gain of 9. And a minute and a half to go in the half. Donovan tripped up with his own feet tangled as he went to the 40. It is a first down. They have all 3 timeouts left.
Here's what Tyler's doing. If his first option isn't there, he's trusting what he can do and run with his feet, which is not a bad idea for a guy making his first start. But if he can be a little bit more patient, there will be receivers coming open down the field.
Donovan showing some patience. Nobody open. And a nifty run. He gets about 16 yards all the way to the 44 of Iowa. Edmund Miles finally made the tackle. It looked like he might run out of bounds after about a 5-yard gain. He wanted none of that. Timeout requested by Bielema. The clock had already stopped to move the chains.
I think that ball came out too, Sean. Mitch King was down there on the hustle, and Edmund Miles came and gave him a shot as he was going down. See that ball? See, they're starting to see space right here. And watch. Well, he does cover the ball up, and it does come out late, but clearly, there it is, rolling around. He was down.
And then he got it back as well. And that's the reason the Iowa player went diving in there, thinking it was a case football. Let's answer the Affleck trivia question. There are 5 Division I-A head coaches who played football here at Iowa. We gave you a couple. Chuck Long, which Chris guessed or knew.
Yep.
And we told you Brett Bielema obviously played her. The others are the brothers Stoops. Bob now coaching at Oklahoma, Mike at Arizona. And Dan McCarney, in his last year as head coach at Iowa State after 12 years. He will depart. We talked with Kirk Ferentz yesterday about that. He and Dan McCarney are friends, and Kirk was surprised by that development. He thinks Dan has done a remarkable job in what is a very difficult coaching position at Iowa State. They hadn't had much success. McCarney took him to 5 bowl games in 6 years, and a bad year, and you're out.
I think he's. That's the nature of the beast in college football. Is it fair? No, but you know, if you look at Dan McCarney's body of work to where Iowa State was before to where he brought him, as you said, Sean, 5 bowl games in 12 years. It's not an easy place to do it.
No.
But they're raising the standard, I guess. I guess that wasn't good enough for him.
Good luck to them. 1st and 10. Wisconsin at the Iowa 44. 1:05 to go till halftime. 2 timeouts left now for the Badgers. Tyler Donovan for the injured John Stocco has been very impressive in his first career start. Given a lot of time again by that big line. Looking for Hubbard, underthrown and incomplete. The underthrown nature of it made it advantage Hubbard in actuality, but Charles Godfrey recovered quickly to bat it down.
You mentioned it, Sean. He did recover quickly, and that's an excellent play by Godfrey, because that's tough to defend. As a corner, you're running full speed. It's easy for the receiver to come back. Sometimes it's more difficult, especially if the corner's on the upfield shoulder. And Godfrey did a good job of exchanging his direction and knocking the ball out of there against the bigger man in Hubbard.
2nd and 10, 57 seconds to go till halftime. P.J. Hill alone back. 4-man rush. Donovan flushed and tackled after a gain of 2. Matt Kroll made the stop. A timeout called by Bielema. 3rd down and 8. Donovan again with a lot of time. Looking deep, and it is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Luke Swan.
I'll tell you, I love the fact that Tyler Donovan throws the ball downfield. Stocco's happy, but Luke Swan makes a play because Pascal has pretty good coverage. But watch Swan's adjustment on the football. It's kind of a throwback, and he's looking for Swan the whole way. Trusting the receiver, Swan does a good job of working underneath Pascal, boxing him out like a basketball player, and making a play for his quarterback and his Badgers.
Luke Swan, we mentioned at the top of the telecast, Bielema talking about the improvement of the wide receivers being a big key for Wisconsin. Swan in particular didn't have a career catch prior to this year. He's at 25 this year and now 4 touchdowns. The extra point by Melhoff makes it 17-14. Entertaining first half in the battle for the Heartland Trophy. When Wisconsin runs off with a 3-point lead. Under first-time starter Tyler Donovan, 8 out of 9 in the first half for 103 yards and 2 touchdowns. Travis Beckham had 5 receptions. Here's Rob.
Guys, what do you need to tell Tyler Donovan to continue his success in the second half?
Well, the great thing about Tyler, he's a great competitor. He's got ability to throw the football as well as run it, as you've seen in the first half. We just need to keep our composure. We had one play, get out. You know, we had a a call that kind of cost us a certain situation. We had 2nd and 17, and we got a pass interference, change the momentum of the game. So we got to get back on our sidelines and do what we do best.
With your history last week at the end of the first half on the kicking options, 39 seconds left today in the first half, what was your thought process on doing the squib?
Well, we were going into the wind, and we thought we'd be able to squib it. We wanted to hit a squib a little bit further than we did, but then they had that big scramble, and I thought we had a pick over there, but we're just happy to get out of there. We'll go in there and regroup. We finish things here.
Appreciate your time, Coach. Thank you.
He's reasonably agitated. That bad pass interference call was a factor. 17-14, Badgers at the break. Here's Reese. The sun is out now in Iowa City as we head to the second half. Wisconsin will get the ball first to begin the second half. Austin Signor kicks off. And the return to the 18-yard line by Jarvis Minton, a 13-yard run back. Sean McDonough with Chris Spielman. Tyler Donovan, very impressive in his first start.
Oh, it's outstanding. I don't think you can ask for a better half, and I like what he's done. They went to the comfort level in Beckham. Toward the end of the half, he threw a nice couple deep balls down there to Swan. He made a great catch, and he's used his feet, and that's what he trusts, and it bails him out of trouble, Sean.
And he's been doing it without much from the running game. P.J. Hill, the leading rusher in the Big Ten, who's averaging 137 yards per game on the ground, has just 21 yards on 9 carries. Let's see if they try to establish him here early in the second half. Hill ahead to the 20. A pickup of 2. Mitch King made the stop, sophomore from Burlington, Iowa.
Longtime defensive coordinator Norm Parker told us yesterday in a production meeting that his defense likes to play against this power-type running game, and you can see why. They've handled P.J. Hill nicely. They do a good job of assignment football and guys filling gaps and taking any running lanes away from the big fella.
He's one of the truly outstanding assistant coaches in the country, Norm Parker. Started collegiate coaching in 1968 after 3 years as a high school coach. 2-time finalist for the Frank Broyles Award as the best assistant in the country. Luke Swan on another good ball thrown by Donovan. Charles Godfrey the tackle, but it's a first down at the 39, a gain of 19.
I'm just watching Tyler Donovan, and you can see the confidence growing. And I love it. He's got a swagger. And when you have that swagger and that confidence, and he always has his feet to go back to, but when you can throw darts like that, he's not going to need his feet.
9 out of 10 now. Here's Hill. Nice cutback through a big hole. He has 9. Here's Rob Stone.
Well, Sean, when in the world in halftime locker rooms for opposing teams versus Wisconsin have the legs of Tyler Donovan been the conversation and not that of P.J. Hill? Well, that was the case for Iowa. One of the main focal points Kirk Ferentz told me as he came on the field today is, hey, we got to do a better job tackling that quarterback because his legs are the thing that's killing us today.
Here's their leading rusher. 2 minutes into the second half. Wisconsin leads 17-14. They led 10-0. Then trailed 14-10, but scored in the final minute of the half to reclaim the lead. Hill has the first down into Iowa territory at the 48. Brian Madison made the tackle.
Just if you're Iowa's defensive front, the one thing you have to do, and we talked about, is being gap sound, because if you study film and you watch Big PJ run, a lot of his yards come on cutback. And you can see that by his shoulders. If his shoulders are square when he gets the football 98% of the time, and that's right, that's an accurate number, he's cutting it back.
Garrett Wolf, Steve Sladen, Ray Rice, Ian Johnson, the only backs in the country averaging more yards per game on the ground than P.J. Hill. Was the leader among freshmen. Good throw again by Donovan. Paul Hubbard the catch, and the mark will give him a first down inside the 38-yard line. Bradley Fletcher made the tackle on the junior Hubbard, a track athlete at Wisconsin.
Nobody knew what they were going to get when Tyler Donovan started his football game, and I've got to believe that this is better than expected from all sides, all parties involved.
There's Wally Pipp right over there. John Stocco. Well, he is his 28-7 in his career as a starter. First and 10 Badgers, crisply on the move here in the second half. Lance Smith, the freshman running back, ran into the back of his own man Hubbard. Then Marcus Haskell made the stop at the 30. 7 more for the Badgers.
Lance Smith, a true freshman out of Warren, Ohio. Again, just another big type of running back that keeps coming down that Wisconsin pipeline. Just the depth that they have certainly is a benefit for them. And that massive offensive line.
Well, they're well stocked there for a while now. Smith, true freshman. P.J. Hill, a redshirt freshman. They're the top 2 rushers for Wisconsin this season. Lance Smith has been seeing more and more action in recent weeks as he's picked up the other parts of being a running back. He fumbles, knocked out by Bradley Fletcher. Donovan dove into the pile trying to get it back for Wisconsin, but the Hawkeyes have it. Mitch King recovers the fumble.
We talked about P.J. Hill had over 60-some carries without a fumble. Well, you bring in that true freshman, Lance Hill. He's following his block of Andy Crooks on his design cutback play. And the ball's out. And it's the effort of the front 4. Mitch King leading the way of Iowa. Running to the ball, making a play. It's a good hit. Helmet on the ball by Fletcher. Popped it out of there.
A nice drive by Wisconsin ends in the turnover at the 33-yard line. Drew Tate comes out swinging and a nice catch. And then it came loose from Dominique Douglas. He was frustrated, thought he had made an acrobatic catch on the ball thrown behind him. But it squirted loose. Jack Ikeguanu in coverage.
The guy that has a bright future is Dominique Douglas out of Detroit, Michigan. Another true freshman has really, Sean, developed into probably the most consistent wide receiver for the Hawkeyes, which has been a very inconsistent position for them throughout the whole year.
They had an inexperienced group coming back, then they lost to senior Calvin Davis to injury. Made it even a younger group. Douglas, their leading receiver for the year, does not have a catch today. Andy Brodell, the reception at the 41-yard line, about 2 yards short of the first down. In fact, Douglas has become Tate's favorite target. He has set the Iowa freshman record for receptions. He leads all true freshman wide receivers in the country with 39 catches.
Just keeps continuing to grow, and I like the offensive game plan so far from Iowa. Ken O'Keefe and Kirk Ferentz coming out, and they're working one side of the field at 3 levels, short, mid-range, and deep, and letting Drew Tate read and pick his option.
Another reason for the success here, the continuity on that coaching staff. Both coordinators have been here all 8 years with Ferentz. Tate dragged down. Where are they going to mark it? Back at the 41-yard line where Ikeguanu wanted the ball to be spotted. Ikeguanu played that very well. He was the only defender out there. Tate went to the pump fake to try to get rid of Ikeguanu, but Jack held his ground.
We'll see right there. This is a good job to see if Drew Tate's knee does go down. I'll tell you, I think that is a challenge call right there. You can challenge a spot of the ball unless they blew him down, which didn't sound like they did.
Back to the 49, they took the delayed game penalty. Andy Fenstermaker's punt rolls inside the 5. And it'll be down inside the 3 by Charles Godfrey.
Now they got to take advantage of that to make something happen, to make that decision not to go. Worth something.
It has been a scoreless third quarter to this point. Wisconsin still leading Iowa here in Iowa City, 17-14. The Badgers 9-1. Trying to win 10 games in a regular season for just the second time in school history. They did it in 1998. P.J. Hill, the tailback. First and 10 from their own 3. Good tackle in space by Marcus Pascal. Donovan out of his own end zone. A good throw and a first down out to the 17-yard line. Travis Beckham for a 12-yard pickup.
You know, that's where he's going to go, and it's amazing to me that if I'm Norm Parker and I got a safety, McGill Merrick, on him, I want to get up there and try to challenge him. You cannot let Beckham run unchallenged. What I mean by that, jam him up at the line of scrimmage, do something to slow the timing down so he's not running free, because he's too big for safeties and he's too quick for linebackers. Bang him up a little bit.
50 catches for the year now for Beckham. P.J. Hill, tackled by Charles Godfrey. The second year in a row, the Iowa defense has done an excellent job against Wisconsin's leading rusher. Last season, Brian Calhoun had a tremendous year. He was 4th in the country in rushing when these teams got together, and Iowa held him to 18 yards. Hill's been a little bit better than that today, but not much.
What I like about Iowa, Godfrey especially, was showing me that the good tackler for a corner. A lot of times those guys aren't the most physical of persons in the world. These guys are coming up and hitting them.
42 yards rushing today on 14 carries for P.J. Hill. He tries again, he gets nothing. Ran into Mitch King.
Take a look here, Sean. Here's what you do if you want to stop P.J. Hill. Look at the alignment that Norm Parker has. Look at all. You got 11 guys within 7 yards of the line of scrimmage. 11 guys within 7 yards. There's not going to be a lot of running lanes, especially when you have safeties stepping up, playing at linebacker depth when the ball is snapped.
Run defense has been excellent. This is the second straight mediocre year for Iowa. They were 7-5 last year. Disappointing again this year, and a big reason why the rush defense has slipped. The 3 years prior to last year, they were always in the top 8 or better in rush defense. Last year they were 29th. This year they're 59th in the country against the run, and they can't stop Donovan short of the first down marker. Good block by P.J. Hill. The quarterback gets 5 and a first down for the Badgers.
That is a great job by P.J. Hill coming out. Designed run by Tyler Donovan, and P.J. Hill puts his man on his back, which allows Tyler Donovan to have the awareness to get to the first down marker before he ducks out of bounds.
.54 yards rushing. He's still their leading ball carrier today. Tyler Donovan, junior from Heartland, Wisconsin, making his first career start. Hill, a tough run for 7. Tackled by Marcus Pascal, senior from Largo, Florida, playing in his last home game here at Kinnick Stadium.
Again, when you see Marcus Pascal coming up, he's shown a lot to me, taking a big 240-pound guy on and really not yielding much yardage after the contact.
Second and 2. Drive started at their own 3. Wisconsin chewing up the clock on this possession. They're 3rd in the country in time of possession, averaging better than 33 minutes per game. And they'll move the chains again. Luke Swan at forward progress. Out to the 40 to give them the first down. Mike Humple knocked them down after a 3-yard pickup. Good enough for the first down.
An outstanding drive by Wisconsin, doing it through the air and on the ground, chewing up the clock. Remember, this drive started back on the inside the 5-yard line. It's well balanced offensively. They've been like that all year.
I mentioned trying to be just the 2nd Wisconsin team to win 10 in the regular season, and just the 5th team to do it overall. They won 10 with their bowl victory last year to send Barry Alvarez out with a highlight. It also matched their school record for Big Ten wins in a season with 7. It will be the 3rd time they will have done that if they win today. Mitch King made the tackle on P.J. Hill at the 44. A gain of 4 for the freshman from East Elmhurst, New York.
You see the size of Wisconsin. The big offensive line is starting to wear down the smaller unit of their counterparts on the defensive line in Iowa. It's a little bit slower getting off the blocks for the Iowa guys.
Then Kirk Ferentz decided not to go for a 4th and 1. in plus territory, hoping that after the punt, the defense would pin Wisconsin in deep. That strategy is not paying off. Donovan all day to throw, and it's dropped. Hit Paul Hubbard right on the number 19, and he couldn't squeeze it.
What a strike. Again, this kid's confidence, Tyler Donovan, keeps growing and growing and growing. And you see the patience and the protection. Just letting Hubbard come open. You got to go catch it with your hands. Don't let it be a bank shot off your shoulders or your chest. Catch the ball with your hands. Snag it.
10th play of the drive. First drop pass by Wisconsin today. A minute and a half to go, third quarter. The Badgers, without John Stocco, their 3-year starter at quarterback, lead by 3. They look like they're in good shape at this position for next year with Donovan at the helm, the way he's played today. Runs out of time, has to throw it, and has Crooks for another third down conversion to the 42 of Iowa. Andy Crooks, a first down.
Well, here's the growth from the first half even to the second half.
Flag down.
But watch this. See, in the first half, Tyler looking. Now he's coming back to his third option. He might have tucked it and run it, but he saw Andy Crooks throw across his body, and Andy Crooks, a former linebacker, catching the ball with his hands. All for naught.
Ineligible downfield, number 63. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
The veteran Craig Urbick, his 24th straight start on the offensive line for Wisconsin. Part of, as Joe Tiller said, the tallest offensive line in captivity. They are the biggest in college or pro football by size at nearly 6'7" on average, 319 pounds. Urbick is 6'6", 325, so when he's illegally downfield, you notice.
Well, Urbick was probably thinking what we were thinking. Tyler's going to take off and run for the first down, so he's downfield trying to get a block.
1 minute to go, third quarter. Another third down now. Can they convert on 3rd and 11? No pass rush at all. Donovan throws a deep ball. Swan is open. The ball flutters, and he still caught it.
Wow.
Charles Godfrey had the coverage, but Swan beat him. The ball going into the breeze fluttered a bit. That gave Godfrey a chance to recover, but he still couldn't bat it down, and it's a 49-yard gain.
Well, Godfrey's actually in pretty good position to make a play, but Luke Swan does a great job with his hips and adjusts on the football. And some days you got it. When it's your day, it's your day. And so far, it's number 12's day. I'm throwing him up for grabs, baby. My guys are coming down with him. Be a star.
Swan's a junior from Fenimore, Wisconsin, walked on. Was finally put on scholarship prior to this season. Greg Bielema said he's had remarkable improvement from game 1 this season to now. Donovan takes off running after the fake. Inside the 5, flag down as he goes out at the 4-yard line. Xavier Harris trying to block for him out there. Is holding.
Exactly. You see Xavier Harris, you have to know when to let it go. To see if his hands are inside or outside. If he gets cloth, they're going to throw the laundry every time.
10 yards, spot of the foul. Go first down.
Spot foul. So it comes back to the 12.
Tough day for Xavier Harris. He's been penalized twice now. Earlier he flinched and got called for a penalty as he was lined up at wide receiver. Now the holding brings the ball back to the 15-yard line. And it'll be first down and 12.
Follow number 43. That's usually where the football goes if it's a run.
So Andy Crooks was lined up in the slot to the left of the formation.
A lot of times he likes to come back here and seal. Something to keep your eye on. Might be. There it is.
Good call, Chris. And Hill. And he used that block that wrapped up by Brian Madison. You mentioned he's the son of a coach, and his dad is a terrific coach. Greg Madison, longtime assistant, now at University of Florida. Kirk Ferentz jokingly said yesterday, it's a good thing he doesn't have his dad's athletic genes. He said that lovingly. He has great appreciation for Greg Madison as a man and a coach.
The Herky hanging out with a band.
Neither team scored in the third quarter. The battle for the Heartland Trophy still very much up for grabs. 3-point game as we go to the fourth. Senior Day in Iowa City.
Finds out is making.
Look inside the Alter building, home of mass communications, DITV, Daily Iowan TV. About 100 student journalists, the opportunity to hone their skills 5 times a week. They have a news broadcast, do an excellent job. We didn't want you to hear them because they'd make us look even worse by comparison. 2nd and 10, Wisconsin. 13th play of this drive. It consumed more than 6.5 minutes. P.J. Hill rumbles near the end zone. Good lead block by the great tackle, Joe Thomas. And Hill very near a first down inside the 3-yard line.
When you're his size and you can get out in space and handle DBs in open space, like Joe Thomas, you said it, Sean, he is a great player, a future #1 draft choice, and maintaining his feet, maintaining his block, which allows P.J. Hill to rumble for the first.
How about this drive? They started their own 3. Nearly 7 minutes off the clock, and a touchdown would be huge. Hill powers down to the goal line and apparently did not break the plane. It'll be 2nd and goal from about a foot away. Mike Klinkenborg leading the defense. Brian Madison also in on the stop.
It's a good job by Iowa's defensive line. One, hold them back, hold them up, fighting. You see McGill come in there, using everything he has to keep that ball from crossing the line of scrimmage. They're fighting till the end, though. They are playing with some effort and energy today.
These numbers don't paint a very bright picture for Iowa, and that number doesn't help either. 6 more on the board for Wisconsin. P.J. Hill, the touchdown, his 15th of the year.
That was a physical domination, whatever you want to call it or phrase it. They took that ball 97 yards and basically shoved it down Iowa's throat. Now the key is, how will Iowa respond? And Tyler Donovan made a lot of key plays on 3rd down to keep that big drive alive.
Tyler Melhoff had the extra point. And for the 2nd time today, Wisconsin leads by 10. And Chris, I go back to Kirk Ferentz's decision to not go for it on 4th down and 1 near the 40-yard line. Seemed like Iowa, particularly off the 2nd quarter, had a little momentum on offense. He talked yesterday about they haven't really gotten into a rhythm all year. You want your team to play with energy and enthusiasm. You say you're going to be more aggressive, then you don't really show much faith in them by not going for it. He got the punt he wanted, but it didn't work out.
Well, again, and if it would have worked out, obviously they would have a chance with good field position to move it down and score. He was counting on his defense to make a stop. And you saw Tyler Donovan, P.J. Hill, the running game, the throwing game. They couldn't stop Wisconsin, so it didn't pay off. And I understand the fact of not gambling, but I'm with you, Sean. I think when you're 2-4 in the Big Ten and struggling, and you're fighting for against your rival, you might have to take that shot and go for it on 4th down.
You're looking to salvage the rest of the season. That's what he talked about. You know, we have to make the most out of the situation that it is right now. They have 2 regular season games left, including this one. They're at Minnesota next week, and then they'll have a bowl game. They're bowl eligible for the 6th year in a row. Which bowl game they go to will be affected by what happens here today. The Chance Schwartz Bowl among those with scouts in attendance. That's a game in Orlando. There's Damian Sims, who's had a terrific ball game for Iowa, and a nice run back across the 35. If anybody should have been mad at the end of that play, it was Ferentz. The other one was on the field, and that shaky penalty call against Madison was iffy at best. The deep ball is incomplete, and here's Reese. Here at 2nd and 10, Iowa. Under 11 minutes to go. The Hawkeyes trailed by 10 for the 2nd time today. They fell behind 10-0 early. Rallied to take a 14-10 lead. Trailed 17-14 at the half, now down 24-14. Wide open, Damian Sims. All the way down to the 24-yard line of Wisconsin, where Jonathan Casillas took him to the ground, a 35-yard pickup.
A nice call by Kirk Ferentz and Ken O'Keefe. Sneaking Damian Sims, kind of hiding him behind the big hogs inside, clearing the whole right side of the field out, running all the eligible receivers to the left side, and Sims is kind of just sneaking in there, hiding. There he goes, he sneaks out. But all the other receivers took all the defenders from Wisconsin to the left side of the field. Sims runs free for a big gain for Iowa.
He stays in at tailback. Tate faked it to him. Tate under duress, finally throws it away. Did a little dance with Matt Shaughnessy for a while. Couldn't shed Shaughnessy. We sent it down to Rob Stone.
Well, you guys saw the non-verbals from Coach Ferentz. I got to hear the verbals. I was right next to him, and that's exactly what he was talking about, Sean, is he was talking to the officials saying, quote, he can request from the sideline, guys, meaning he's not even close to the sideline. He has got to stay over there. It's a rule. This is as animated as I've seen Coach Ferentz in a long time, and he's had some reason to be upset at some calls. Chris, we saw him at the Outback Bowl last year. He got robbed multiple times.
Yeah, he said yesterday it's been a tough year. I don't want to make excuses, but he listed injuries and officiating situations as part of the problem. Into the end zone, touchdown! Trey Strauss, the freshman, with his first career touchdown, 24 yards.
It's the same type of catch that Luke Swan has made. Strauss working on Ben Strickland for the injured Alan Langford. Adjusts late to the football, and I believe a ball purposely underthrown. Goes up to the highest point, snags it for a big play for Iowa.
An extra point good by Schlicker. Strauss with his first catch of the day, his first career touchdown. He had 8 receptions all year, and 6 of those came in one game against Indiana. Iowa back within 3. 4 plays, 59 yards on the scoring drive. Took just 44 seconds. Drew Tate just 9 for 24 passing, but 3 of those 9 have been touchdowns. Wisconsin entering today's game had given up 3 touchdown passes all year, fewest in the country. Tate has thrown 3 against them today. Jarvis Minton trying to go all the way across the field. Brought it back to the 30-yard line. There's plenty of time left. Not so much here. Under 8.5 to go. After the big first down, flags down. Hill tackled quickly. You wonder if they got him by a face mask. 2 officials rifled. No, it's a hold. Must have been a very obvious hold because 2 officials rifled their flags right into the pile where Hill went down.
Holding, offense, number 65, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Marcus Coleman, the center, contending with King.
No contention.
Coleman's had a good year. He's gotten better as the season's gone along. He was their offensive lineman of the week last week in their win over Penn State. Remember, their offensive player of the week for the entire unit. First-year starter out of Plymouth, Minnesota. 1st and 25, back at the 26. Look out for King again. Screen, almost intercepted. Edmund Miles, the linebacker, had that one read.
Donovan took a shot, Sean. Mitch King, I think, was the one that delivered a blow. He's saying it's good to be the king because I'm taking over this series, which he has.
And if he comes out, it's freshman Dustin Shearer who would have to play, and he's just now thinking about that possibility. Well, he might have been looking for a helmet.
Got a flag. As Stocco's running out and trying to deliver a message to his boy, you can't run out on the field.
Charge to Wisconsin. First warning.
It's just a warning. They threw the flag. It's just a warning, not a penalty.
Yeah.
And it was Stocco, who's got a new role, obviously, this week. I don't think he realized that you can't walk out of the coach's box area over there, the sideline area. Rob Stone, you're down there.
Well, I just spoke with that official at the beginning of this drive who threw that flag on John Stocco, and he said, this is a tight sideline down here. We usually cut the coaches some slack. We try and be a soother rather than an instigator, and what we'll do is we'll throw a sideline warning. That was the first. Now they're on notice.
And the crowd right on top of you. There's very little room behind the benches. Swing pass for P.J. Hill. Ran into his own man, Joe Thomas, who finishes a block of Edmund Miles. Here's a look at John Stocco. You can see him out almost to the numbers.
There he is. He thinks he's at practice. And look at Brett saying, get back here. What are you doing?
Well, Brett's not a great example. I mean, he's all over the field himself. He's going to need a new pair of shoes when this game is over. Barry Alvarez, the longtime Wisconsin coach, we were talking with him on the field. Rob Stone and I were before the game. And Barry said this is a very tough place to play because the fans are so close. There's so little room. The crowd's loud. They're all over your players, and your players can easily lose focus. It's also hard to get out of the way if they come over there. Here's Donovan trying to run for it on 3rd and 17. He is a tough young man. Didn't get anywhere near the first down. He got 5, and they will have to punt as the clock ticks down towards 6.5 minutes remaining. Donovan's slow to get up, and understandably so.
Yeah, Humble and Mitch King again, Sean. You talk about a guy that wants to win and is giving it up for his buddies. Mitch King took over that series for the Iowa defense. Get yourself some water, young man. You deserved it.
Yeah, he might be the defensive player of the week in the conference for the 2nd year in a row for his performance against Wisconsin. Ken DeBush to punt. Line drive, returnable for the true freshman, Dominique Douglas, out of Murray Wright High School in inner city Detroit. A couple of nice spins. So you get a 5-yard return of a 36-yard punt. Iowa down by 3 with the ball when we come back. Drew Tate, 3-year starter, veteran, senior quarterback in his last home game, trying to give these fans one last thrill. Comes out throwing on 1st and 10. Didn't have anybody deep. Now has some running room. Instead goes to throw it, and it is deflected. And incomplete.
Should have ran the ball, Sean. He's got plenty of running room. He's trying to force it in there.
Andy Brodell, the interior receiver. Ben Strickland knocked it down. Tate's had a 3-touchdown day, but he's just 10 for 29 passing for 170 yards. We mentioned he was the Big Ten first-team quarterback 2 years ago, and he was the toast of the state. As they've struggled this year, he's had more critics. They're criticized for being too feisty, too emotional. When they were winning, he was the feisty leader. When they're losing, now he's a negative influence on his teammates.
You know what you're getting with him.
Tate stays on his feet and gets dragged down by DeAndre Levy. It is a gain on the play to the 35. He got 3. And Tate comes up limping. 3rd down and 7, under 3 minutes to go.
He'll be all right. Shaughnessy just ran over top of him. Drew can get down there and get low.
And he's going to use their last timeout. Jake Christensen, the freshman, is the backup quarterback. You know, they didn't want to have to use it there, but Tate wasn't ready to take the next snap, and he is still in obvious pain.
You know, I think it's 3rd down, too. It's not such a bad scenario where you can get Drew Tate, hopefully, to shake that off. Plus, you can get the right play that you need to get. Look at Shaughnessy. Drew Tate just goes right underneath him. You see Levy come in. It looks like his ankle got caught underneath him.
Obviously, it'd be a horrible time for Iowa for Tate to have to come out of the ballgame if that's the case.
The other thing is, with that timeout, it gives the backup Christensen time to warm up. You can get Tate if he gets healthy, or you can get the right play that you feel will work best in this situation for you. So ideally, you don't want to take the timeout, but it's not that bad of a scenario considering the circumstances.
We'll see if it's still Tate in there. It looks like it will be after we check in with Reese. Maurice, thank you. You'd have to think this is 4-down territory.
Absolutely.
For Iowa. No timeouts with the clock rules. The clock will run on a change of possession. So they have 2 plays to get 7 yards. 3rd down and 7 from their own 34. Wisconsin leading 24-21. 4-man rush. Tate, lots of time. Nobody open. Airs it out deep. One-on-one out there. Lots of contact, and it's incomplete. Ike Iguanu and Douglas were tangling. At first, it looked like Ike Iguanu shoved Douglas out of the way. Then Douglas came back and pulled on Ike Iguanu when it looked like he was going to pick it off.
Iowa gets away with one right there. Damian Douglas does a good job of playing defender and playing out of desperation. Basically, Ike Iguanu's in position. And watch Damian Douglas come back and jerk Ike Iguanu's shoulders. Well, that's close. You can see how they could have called it. You can also understand how they couldn't have called it. It's very close.
They also got Ike Iguanu giving him a forearm in the middle of the back. So he went up for it, too. Comes down to this play. Iowa must convert or it's over. 6 out of 7 on 4th down this year. Tate has a man wide open, dropped. Dominic Douglas at the 50-yard line.
That's been the story, Sean.
Right there. That kind of season. That's it. In a capsule right there. All you need to know about why they're about to be 6-5. Stuff like this.
It's a good throw. He has a great throwing lane. He's got his #1 receiver, although he's only a true freshman. The ball's a little bit behind. But I'll tell you, you're a big-time player in a school at Iowa. That's a catch that you got to make. You have to make that catch. It seemed like he almost tripped coming out of his cut a little bit. Didn't quite have his feet.
Natural grass field is in great shape. Now the clock runs on the change of possession. No timeouts for Iowa. When you're having the kind of season Iowa's having, that's what happens. Whoa, Hill dropped the handle. And Wisconsin got it back. Man who had not fumbled all year. Lost one a moment ago. And almost lost another when that's the only way they can lose the game.
Unbelievable. You take things for granted. I don't know if PJ really got the handle on the handoff. I don't know if Tyler put it in his gut. You see right here. Looks like it was a good exchange, and PJ almost looked to me like he was making his cut before he had the football.
A great job by Craig Urbick to keep Mitch King off that loose ball. King saw it, but Urbick blocked him away from it. Hill secures the football. He got walloped at the 32-yard line. Miguel Merrick up from his safety position with help from Mike Klinkenborg. Cooper Tires players of the game for Wisconsin. Tyler Donovan, how about those numbers in your first career start on the road in a tough place to play? And Mitch King, terrific game at defensive tackle for Iowa. They are Cooper Tire players of the game.
Tyler has over 70 yards rushing too to put him close to 300 total yards of offense.
3rd and 6. Hill again. Down at the 27. The clock runs. Will they have to snap it again? They haven't wound the play clock yet. Wisconsin, one of their goals this year for the seniors, beat Iowa. They hadn't done it. They've beaten every other team in the Big Ten except Iowa. Brett Bielema about to become the first Big Ten coach ever to win 10 games in his first year as a head coach, and lead them to just their second 10-win regular season in school history at Wisconsin. And Kirk Ferentz hoping that this game would be a springboard for the rest of the year. He'll watch his team lose its 4th straight Big Ten game. And 3 home losses this year for Iowa. They've won 27 of the last 31 home games, but 3 of those 4 losses this year. Donovan runs out the clock and takes a knee, and that's a fitting ending. And here come the Wisconsin players over to the near sideline to take the Heartland Trophy. Brett Bielema with a hug from his longtime friend and mentor, Kirk Ferentz. Final score, Wisconsin 24, Iowa 21. The Badgers now 10-1. For Chris Spielman, Rob Stone, and our crew, Sean McDonough saying so long from Iowa City. And this has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Now here's Dave Barnett.